Hey Sunshines, welcome back to my channel. My name is Liza Jane, and some of you may also know me as Dreadlocks. Today I thought it would be fun just to chill. I'm in my sweats, my slippers, got my iced coffee. It's snowing outside. That does not make me happy in April. I want to add a few locks to all these crazy little short pieces. There's just too many of them. I'll be honest with you, when I did my extensions the last time, I was low on cash and I didn't have enough money to do them all. So yeah, so now I do have some hair on hand and I want to go ahead and extend some of these. I also want to put some dreadlock braids in so that some of them have braids coming down. I love a braid in my locks. So I will show you that. We're just going to hang out today. You guys, people ask all the time what kind of hair that I use. I have kept it no secret that I am on a shoestring budget most of the time. All the time. I get mine from the local beauty supply. It is Sassy Brand, 100% human hair. I've always had great luck with it, never had any problems. It's nice to work with and that's what I use. I will put a link below for the exact thing that I use, but that is what I'm doing. I do have two different colored blondes and I have been doing that throughout my hair this last time. I'm not doing ombre. I basically just put in different chunks of color. So I'm going to use that. I also have my latch hook. You guys know that I love a latch hook. You can use a crochet hook the same way I use my latch hook. I just find it's easier with that latch to do crocheting. It's as simple as that. Use whatever you're comfortable with. I have gone back and forth with both, but I always go back to the latch hook. It is my favorite. You will also need scissors. You will need a comb and some tape. If you like to beat up your fingers, you should definitely have tape. I prefer electrical tape and iced coffee. You definitely need your iced coffee. I'm not going to be doing a lot of showing you how to crochet your dreadlocks because I've already made those videos, and of course there'll be a link above and below to find out exactly what I'm doing and the nitty-gritty on that. I just don't think there's a reason to go back to that when I already have videos that show that and show it well. So just come along with me, hang out with me, watch me do this, and we'll be golden. I do love a hangout video, and I'm very grateful that you guys are just hanging out with me today and we can kind of catch up, kind of tell you what's going on in my life, and maybe you can share below what's going on in your life, how you guys are doing as we stay at home and try to protect our families and protect others and support our healthcare workers and all that. I'm curious, you know, how everybody's doing. I think that it's different for every family. Dave has gone back to work as an essential employee. That's been nice because we weren't sure if he was going to get unemployment and it was going to take way too long and we need the money. So we are very grateful that he is back at work. I need a needle. What did I just do with that one? Oh, there it is. Our two boys have left. They went to my oldest son's place. So my days are pretty normal. I make videos, I do my social media, I do my customs. I just have to make a lot more meals and people are always around. But other than that, my days really haven't changed that much through all this. Okay, so I wanted to have a really long braid, so I'm just gonna start it like that, so that I have a lot of hair to do the actual braid. So the dread was started, but it's not like complete. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna marry these two. I love a bohemian look, and I think part of that is the flyaways and the loose hairs on the bottom. That's real. I mean, it's just my locks are not perfection. They're perfectly imperfect, as I always say, and I like them that way. I don't like to over maintenance. Second of all, it's hard on my body, and third of all, I feel like everybody has fuzzies. What do you guys like? Do you like to have yours totally groomed perfect? I know a lot of people that do, and they're gorgeous. I just can't keep up with that. I don't want to keep up with that, but I love them when they are. I love all locks, really. I do everything on a budget, and I started to do mine at home because I couldn't afford to go anywhere. That's who I feel like I'm making my videos for a lot, is like you know, the girl that wants them but can't necessarily go somewhere either because of chronic pain, because of family situations, because of maybe wanting the pride and doing them themselves. And, you know, I didn't realize how much pride was going to come from that. But there's a lot of reasons that we have to do them at home. Locticians are wonderful and amazing. If you want to go to one, if you can go to one, I think that's great. But for some of us, it's not always possible. So once you realize that you can totally do this at home, I think it gives you a lot of power. You could totally have done this, you know, before you attached it to your head. However, for me personally, I like doing them as I go. So I'm just making a nice little braid. Just go down. I think these are really pretty. You see it a lot with synthetics, that they do the braids in there, the whole braid going all the way, and that's a really cool thing about synthetics. Human hair, they don't stay as pretty as long, but it's okay because you can always brush out the end and do it again, or just lock it up, whatever. It's not like it's a lifetime commitment. You can just change it out. After a month or two, it gets a little bit frazzled. So I'm going to have this big old braid right here. So then once I'm at the bottom, I have done this in a video before, but it was a pretty quick one. So then I'm just back combing a little bit. I'm going to twist and rip. I'm going to back comb a little bit. Twist and rip. And then I'm going to get out my hook. Obviously, make sure that stays in there. This is what I'm saying. If you don't like the braid after a while, you just brush out the bottom. And it's not like a big lock. It's just a little bit at the bottom. And you've brushed it out and you can pull it apart. I have to admit, I realized I'm a real introvert and I spend a lot of time at home because, to be honest with you, this isn't that hard for me. I hate going to the store anyway, and so now Dave is the one that goes to the store. The only thing I really miss is like going to my mom's house and stuff and just wandering like downtown. I will say I feel really bad for my kids because their whole world has changed. So that's where it's hard. But for me personally, not that hard. I'm okay with it. My days are pretty much the same. I stayed home and worked on customs and did my videos. I picked everybody up, made dinner, and everybody went to bed. So like my normal weekday, I guess the weekends have changed a lot because we were more, you know, let's get out of the house, let's go do something type of family. But weekdays are pretty much the same. Especially with Dave still going to work. It's hard to remember that other people are, like their whole families, like hunkered down. Dave was home for a couple weeks and we got a lot done. I could have gotten really used to that because we did get a lot of projects done in that time. So there, you have your braid. I could go in on this and make it a little prettier, and I probably will later. It makes all the difference in the world. Once you've oiled up a lock, you know I have videos on making oils, but once you rub some oil on it, it looks so much better. That's a trick. And then once it's washed, obviously, now I washed yesterday, so I'll probably end up washing these also like within the next day or two because I really don't like the feel of the hair until it's washed, but the oils do help. You just put them on there and it does look so much better after those have been on. So I guess I will take this time to kind of tell you guys a little bit about me. I grew up in Portland, Oregon. I have an older brother that's 18 months older than me. My dad was a sports writer, columnist, broadcaster. So I grew up around sports, went to Catholic school most of my growing up, and then middle school I switched to public. Went to community college for a year, did terrible. I hated it. I didn't want to go, but my parents strongly encouraged me to. I was working 2 jobs at the time and school just was not a priority. And then I found out about an acting college and I auditioned for it and I got in, and I moved to Los Angeles and had a really crazy and fun year there. Met some amazing people, just had a really good time. And then I met Dave, and that's how I ended up in Indiana. But we didn't stay in Indiana that long. We lived in Indiana, then we moved to Chicago, moved back to Indiana, then we moved back to Oregon, and then lived there for about 5 years, and then moved back to Indiana. and we've been here ever since. It is not our last place. We'd like to travel. Who knows what the world will look like then? But we do know that in our retirement years, we would like to be on the road. I'd like a converted school bus or a nice RV or something, and it's gotta be cush. I don't wanna rough it. I need a fabulous bed. When I moved to Indiana, it was like culture shock. So much culture shock. I had moved from Los Angeles to Fort Wayne, Indiana. I had never even heard of Fort Wayne, Indiana. When I realized there were no coffee shops, I thought I was gonna die. I didn't know what I had gotten myself into. Now it's so much cooler. If it had been like it is now, I would have been so okay. And probably would have never moved to Chicago and then to Oregon and stuff. But at the time, it was like a nothing town. Strip malls, strip clubs, and restaurants and churches. That's what the town was full of. But now it's, you know, super cool. There's breweries and stuff to do and awesome parks. You know, there's a nightlife. Not that I join in that, but I mean, there's just so much to do. So many cool, like, mom and pop restaurants. It's not bad living here now. The one thing that sucked about this is Dave and I sold our business last year at this time, and Dave wanted to open a pedicab business, and he did last summer. It was really awesome, and we were looking forward to that income, him getting out on that bike this spring. And of course he hasn't really been able to. He went out a time or two when it was random nice days, but unfortunately with all this going on, it's kind of put our business on the back burner, and it's sad. Is there something that you were looking forward to that you can't do? I mean, I feel like we could all list at least a dozen things that aren't happening in our life because of all this. Here's one I hate. Look at that. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna make it pretty. So Dave and I did not wait long to have a family. Mostly because he already had a son. And we were like, you know what? He needs siblings. So we have my bonus son, then we have our son, and a daughter. And then Violet came years later. She was not an oops. I think a lot of people think that. She was not an oops. She was very much planned for. One reason I love the different lengths is I think it gives it volume. It's also easier on your neck if you don't have all that weight on every strand. If you have very long locks and they are all the same length, that can be really heavy. While very gorgeous, very heavy. For all my chronic pain sufferers or just people that are sensitive to the pain of dreadlocks, I definitely recommend having different lengths in your hair, because it will give the illusion that your hair is long everywhere, but then basically it's not. It's kind of a trick. Plus, it just, like I said, it really gives it volume to have the different lengths. People always say the ones in the back are so hard, and actually the ones in the back are much easier because you can't nitpick on everything you've done and every little hair out of place. Sometimes the ones in the back are just better. Another thing I want to mention is when you're making locks, you will see the stitches a lot of times. And I think people worry about that, but here's the deal. Nobody sees them but you, most likely, because you're seeing them so much closer than everybody else. Another thing is they will fade. You will not see those stitches forever. Okay, so I've got to do another braid. Got to happen. All right, here we go. So I'm going to take this because I don't like the way that looks. I'm just going to plunk in more stitches at the top of it. It's a nice fatty. And we're just going to stitch at the bottom. Let's see where I'm at. I gotta look in a mirror. Okay, so what we have left are just a few in the front that are shorter. I'm looking for them. And that is just going to kind of frame my face. But then the rest have been extended and I have a few braids in there. I hope you guys enjoyed just this random little chatting kind of nonsense video. It was just kind of nice for me to sit back and chat with you and kind of tell you more about me and my life. If you have any questions or if you have any video ideas, please put them in the comments. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you loved it, please subscribe to my channel. I do upload every Monday and Thursday. I hope you guys are staying home if you can and staying safe. Take care.